welcome back to Better Know Your Community, a production of My Block TV. I'm your host, Gail Lewis, and it's my pleasure today to be coming to you live from Hollis, Queens, the home of great Guyanese food. Right now, I'm sitting in Patsy Taro Restaurant and Bakery here in Hollis, and I can hardly even concentrate on what I'm doing because of the great smells wafting out of the kitchen behind me. But more about that later. Right now on Better Know Your Community, it's my pleasure to have an interesting guest sitting beside me. She is someone from the community who is now giving back to the community in so many ways. And it's my pleasure to welcome Renee Blue Banks to the show. How are you, Renee?
Hi, Gail. Nice to see you.
It is great to see you. Isn't this a great restaurant that we're sitting in?
It just smells delicious. We're surrounded by the most delicious foods. We got sorrel over here to wet our throats on this hot, swarthy day.
Yeah, it's a really nice surprise and a real find here in Hollis, Queens. So we're going to try to not think about the food sitting around us and talk a little bit about your organization. You're the founder of Stress Management Tool Company, LLC. Tell us about what they do.
Well, it started out as I was a herbal profiler, and I would research medical conditions for people from both Western medicine and alternative medicines, holistic based. And then I branched into special education as a result of being a teacher, theater arts teacher. Then I went into special ed, and I started to notice the link between the two. So we formed the company to inform parents and to also help clients with their individual problems like ADHD, autism, wide range of spectrum with that, as well as general education issues like in testing, the stress of being tested over and over and over again.
And test anxiety.
Test anxiety, and also that children nowadays are being bombarded with mass media to the point where they don't always know how to deal with all the senses that they're being tapped with. So I've started to incorporate EFT.
And what's EFT?
EFT is emotional free tapping, and basically it goes through 12 meridians.
What's a meridian?
A meridian is a pressure point between your muscles and your basic chakras, and a chakra are different places where the energy collects in the body. So the meridians are just like when you go to the doctor and they tap your knee. That's a meridian.
You get that reflex.
It's a reflex. And just like in your life, as you go through it, you're breathing, you're relaxing your shoulders, hopefully. If you're not, and you're aware of your meridians, you know to tap them to release the emotional energy. It was developed for Vietnam veterans, and it works on trauma. I thought it was a joke when I first started working with it.
It seems a little outlandish, tapping a part of your body to self-soothe.
Yes. And at first I thought it was a little weird, but after I started to experience it, I saw that what it does basically is it clears the energy for that moment so the person can think and refocus. And then you can tap again. You can tap as many times as you need to. The teacher doesn't have to do it. The parent doesn't have to do it. The individual can do it. And that's where it's really helpful, especially with children with emotional disturbance trauma.
So you, of course, work with children who have special needs, but you also cater to children in the general population as well.
Yes. Like I worked with one child who was at a school, and they considered him ADHD. He was very athletic, and he was also in the first grade. So I tutored this child. I got the parent.
So you tutored him in regular subjects?
General education, math, as well as reading comprehension. He was having problems not with math, but with reading comprehension because he wasn't sitting still long enough.
It makes sense, yeah.
So what happened is that we found a way to make it interesting for him, even if it was a boring story, so that he would follow through with the thought of the story and start to develop the basic reading skills that he needed to develop at that age.
Amazing.
And dealing with his stress, he said he wanted to be more physical. He wanted to exercise. He wanted to play more. Play kept coming up. So I suggested that his parent put him in a dojo. For those of you who don't know, a dojo is a martial arts studio where people work and train I suggest this for a lot of children who have this condition because they learn how to meditate, they learn how to control their muscles, they learn how to breathe while they're moving, and they get to holler, they get to jump.
They get to make a lot of noise.
That's right. And for a lot of children, especially young black male children, it's a godsend.
Yeah.
So
And you also get that discipline that really comes along with the martial arts. It's unlike a lot of other sports in that sense. You got that progression, the discipline.
and you don't have to pay as much as you would for therapy or the drugs that they prescribe to these children, which have not all necessarily been researched for the age groups that they're giving these children.
So how important is meditation? You've mentioned it quite a few times.
Meditation is a way of centering your body and your being. So it's very important. I think that this generation of children and people and parents, myself included, needs to meditate at least once a day.
And why is that?
To clear your thoughts and to also be able to center your breathing, allowing your body to take over with the subconscious mind as opposed to the conscious mind, so that you filtered out whatever you saw on television, however you felt when you got on the train or the bus, or how
All the bad stuff.
all the bad stuff, so that you get to your good self. A lot of people confuse it with prayer. Prayer is a little different because it depends on your faith and what you are praying and how you're praying. But meditation is just a general acceptance of self.
Clearing of the mind of the bad things, I guess.
Clearing of the mind of the bad things and also allowing your good energy to once resume. Because sometimes we come out drained. Let's face it, school can be a drag. So can work, so can parenting. All those things can be a drag. But once you take a minute to just relax and meditate and feel that it's okay to be right where you are right now, you've accepted yourself. And in doing that, you have peace.
How important is self-acceptance?
Very, especially for children, because they're watching television. They're seeing a lot of negative images that aren't necessarily their self-image. So for them to center and accept who they are is very important.
I can imagine, absolutely. So your tagline over at Stress Management Tool Company is, and I'm really in love with it, you don't have to be a medical doctor to research your medical problem.
Right. You don't. If you have a problem, there's a lot of other people who probably had that problem. You can research it. Like if it's a female problem, you can look up at HERS Foundation and you can find out a lot of things. You can check with Vital Health Foods on 197th Street and pick up some probiotics for your child. And you might find that their attention deficit disorder has disappeared. You might find that you've been having a lot of lung problems and you do an alternate breath, and lo and behold, your blood pressure drops by 10 points and you're breathing better. So these are just tools. This is a little toolbox for you and for your children and your family to develop from.
And all of this in consultation, of course, with your doctor. Make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Exactly. Do your work with your doctor. Don't ignore that. But at the same time, get online, research your condition.
And build your toolbox.
Build your own toolbox and be your own true self-being.
Well, Renee, where can people find out more information about Stress Management Tool Company and email address?
My email address is u24hollis and at yahoo.com. And feel free to just email me and I'll get right back to you. And we're looking for sponsors. We're trying to build our homegrown remedies so that we can spread the word and also develop webinars for people and parents who want to learn techniques that are not rocket science. It's very simple. It's about breathing.
So helping parents one webinar at a time, really.
Right. Exactly.
And the website, U2 for Hollis, is that Y-O-U or the letter U?
It's my email is u24hollis at yahoo.com. And our dance therapy program is called guidedance.autism.org. So look up online, see some new techniques that are being used for these children and all children. Because let's face it, we're all under stress. So we all have to let go of it.
All right, helping adults and children with special needs as well as general population children as well. She is Renee Banks. Thanks so much for joining me today. on a Better Know Your Community, of course, produced by My Block TV. Thanks so much for watching this segment of Better Know Your Community. As always, I'm Gail Lewis. Hit me up on my website, www.gail-lewis.com. And don't forget to watch me on Communication Corner right here on the same channel. From Patsy Taro Restaurant, we are going to go get into some roti and dal puri right now in the back with some sorrel in beautiful Hollis, New York. Come down and taste it for yourself. Thanks for watching Better Know Your Community, and we'll see you again real soon. Good night, everyone.